Hey there! Welcome to Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. This just came out right now, and this is a classic CRPG. I don't know if that stands for computer RPG or classic RPG, but whatever. This is a classic role-playing game for PCs, and I am really excited to play it. Now, this is a game that I've tried playing in the past, but I just couldn't get into it. I wanted to. I really wanted to, because I've loved games like Planescape Torment, Fallout 1 and 2, that is, and Arcane of Steamworks and Magic Obscura, things of that sort. And this is considered one of the very best of those kinds of games, and yet I never really could get into it. But hopefully that will change now that I'm recording. So here's the plan. I'll try to cut out as much of this that is redundant as possible, which is to say there'll be a lot of running around, probably a lot of reloading, but I'll try to keep it as focused as possible. There's a lot of text with no recorded voices, and I'm not going to read it out loud. I'm just going to kind of skim read it and sort of summarize it as much as possible, because I know some people really hate having things read to them, and I can't do voice acting, so it's not going to be like amusingly voice acted or anything, so sorry, it's just the way it's going to be. With that said, I'm going to be playing this on the new, somewhat normal difficulty, which is easier than the actual Baldur's Gate 1 because your companions, your party companions, can't permanently die. And that will save a ton of time because I can't... One of the reasons I couldn't get into Baldur's Gate in the first place was because of how difficult it is. It's a huge open world in an isometric perspective, and if one of your characters dies, they're just dead. You've got nothing for them unless you happen to have some kind of expensive healing or resurrection item on you. So, yeah. Let's just hop right into it then. I'm going to be doing a new game, and instead of picking one of these guys, I think I'm going to create a new character. I want to be a priest. So I'll be right back once I've created this. Alright, so, after like half an hour, here's what we got. Okay, so his name's Randall. He's a male, half-elf. He's a priest of Lathander. Lathander, I think that's how it's pronounced. He's neutral good because that allows me a little bit of flexibility while still being good. We could go evil, sure, but from what I recall of Baldur's Gate, it's going good just seems wiser, especially since we're going to be doing, you know, quests for folks and stuff. Why not? Now, here's something I didn't like about this game, even back when I played it before. These stats are actually rolled. So under the abilities part here, I had like a roll button, so I just kept clicking that over and over and over again for like 15-20 minutes until I got a really good set of numbers. And you can save a set and then recall it, but only one set, and then otherwise you just keep rolling. I always found that really pointless because it basically just is a tedious little chore, because there's nobody going to accept a bad roll, right? And you can re-roll an infinite number of times, so you're just going to keep rolling and rolling and rolling until you get the absolute best combination. I don't know if this is absolute best, but I finally got sick of that little, you know, kind of a mini game almost. Okay, so I've got different priest spells here. Right, and then I guess I picked which one of these I wanted to have starting out. I chose, I believe, Cure Light Wounds, Protection from Evil, and maybe Bless, I believe. But these are all available to me, which is a nice thing about playing a cleric. You don't have to choose which spells to have and which not to have like you would if you were a wizard or a sorcerer. Okay, as for weapon proficiencies, I went with Quarterstaff because there's going to be a lot of those. And, you know, they're decently powerful and decently quick, so, you know, why not? And then Sling, just in case where we have to keep back. Clerics have limited options as far as weapons go, but I don't want to make this a huge explanation about things, so let's go on with it. Oh, I've got a little biography there, so pause the video and enjoy. I didn't write that, it's just the default, so there you go. I'm not going to be doing a lot of role-playing per se, and I haven't really been much for doing that. It's not in single-player games anyway. Multiplayer games maybe then, sure, but in single-player games I prefer to just make a character that suits my style of play and then just go for it. I don't tend to invent a big backstory for my character or anything. I more prefer to see how I can interact with the world using that character.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
I wish that scrolling text had been a little bit slower so that I would have kept up. Oh well. And thus the game begins. Unfortunately, there is no quick save, even though this is like an enhanced edition and they could have added it, they didn't. So for most saving, I'll have to go in here and just manually save. I've got auto saves, that was just from a test. So I'll have to do this every now and again, but hopefully it won't be too excessive because it does autosave every time I load a new area, I believe.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Could be mistaken on that, but time to begin.
Hello there.
Who's this lady? Though I was going to say lovely lady, but you know, from this distance it's really hard to tell. She wants history of Halrua? Alright. Well, yeah, see, exactly. She's an old lady, arthritic feet. See, from this distance, though, she don't look too bad. Okay, so she's absent-minded, but we'll get her book for her. Sure, it's a nice little quest for us. If I remember which was my quest, a J for journal. There we go. So here's my quest. Flydia's book. Flydia? Whatever. Yep, so we'll be collecting a number of those jobs to do, and we'll hopefully do them as efficiently as possible. At one point I knew a way to get these done efficiently because I was sick of replaying the game over and over again because I could never decide exactly what to do. But I've pretty much forgotten about all that efficiency, so...
What do you need?
Oh, hey, perfect. It's in the hay beside the cow. Oh, you got some plans for us, huh? Alright. It is kind of cool how there's all these areas you can interact with just all over the place. That's kind of neat. Although it can require some kind of annoying pixel hunting. That's not the best.